Welcome to the Prompt Engineering Podcast, where we teach you the art of writing effective prompts for AI systems like ChatGPT, Midjourney, DALL-E, and more. Each week, we explore prompting techniques, interviews with experts and newbies, and tips on selling your prompts. Here's your host, Greg Schwartz.
This is a recording of the first Prompt Engineering Mastermind. If you're only listening to the audio, this might be a smidge harder to understand, but I did my best to read out the different things that were displayed on screen. Obviously, we were all on Zoom together, being able to look at each other's screens, or most people were looking at mine, but you get the idea. So you might have a better experience watching this on YouTube. You can go to youtube.com/@Prompt Engineering Podcast, or you can find that link at promptengineeringpodcast.com. Regardless, I think you'll get a lot out of this episode. So here we go with the mastermind. This is Sean. Let me unmute you and make you a co-host.
Thank you.
Okay, you should be able to share your screen with the ChatGPT interface up and your prompt up.
So I actually didn't prepare that. I just had a prompt in mind that I was hoping you could help guide through how to actually set it up.
That is okay. I can pull it up. Can you just tell me what the prompt is and I will share my screen?
Yeah, so the prompt was, let me find it. So basically, I want to be able to build a website using WordPress, but I don't know how, and I want ChatGPT to take me through all the steps necessary, including things like purchasing domain, hosting, whatever is relevant, and just guided steps on exactly what needs to be done.
Awesome. All right. I am sharing my screen, and while I am doing that, it looks like Ron, you are the next one in line who asked to present. So go ahead and get your prompt and ChatGPT up, and in 5 minutes, we will switch over to you. So Sean, does this approximate what you had in mind?
Let's see that. Yeah.
Great. Well, let's see what it says. And then we will probably want to rerun it from scratch. But for the people for everyone except Ravi and Zashan, put into the chat what you would suggest would help make this better. And I see one is already high level. I would start with a persona project component. Awesome. Yes, that is definitely where I was thinking, but I wanted to let it run on its own first so we could see how interesting it might be. All right, from the chat, we're also getting the suggestion of, well, expand each component. Yes, Mo tried a slightly different prompt, getting very similar results. And Arsam asked, does adding a persona actually make that big of a difference? So that's a great question. I am going to just restart this with the only change I'm going to make is give it a role play prompt. So as an experienced software, can't spell today, developer with 10 years of experience. So let's just see how much of a difference. So it was saying, give me a domain, purchase it, hosting provider. Some of these hosting suggestions are interesting, and particularly having to set up DNS, not necessarily where I would have suggested it start, but okay. Now let's see.
One thing I'd like to have it focus on is more like the actual, so I think it was step 4 or 5 where it's install WordPress and pick a theme, and then it just goes to the next step. And I feel like there's a lot there.
Very much.
Yeah.
Cool. So interestingly, in this case, it's actually not making much of a difference. This output is pretty similar to what it had before. So let's follow what Robert was just saying. Please tell me in short and concise steps from acting as an experienced website developer. Let's see if that helps make this more nuanced. These steps of setting up WordPress. I'm just going to get rid of that. And yep, more people to admit. Man, Ravi, this is surreal. We're at 47. For context, people, we had been expecting 5, I think was the original count that I had. And then
Yeah,
kaboom.
this is
Awesome.
definitely overwhelming for us for sure.
Cool. Okay. So we've got a couple different nuances to try. So act as an expert in WordPress and web development, or act as my consultant. That would be a good one. I'm going to throw that in and run this again in a second because, yep, it's still really focusing more on the give me a domain. Sorry, help me buy a domain. Oops, that's not the one I wanted. Act as an expert. Tell me. And I think we're also, this is the last one I'm going to do because the next one I'm actually just going to make a new chat because it's clearly, this is one of the things that you run into with ChatGPT. It's fixated on the steps that I told it originally. And this is a good thing and a bad thing. It's a double-edged sword because early on I asked it to tell me about the very technical pieces of buying a domain. That was literally one of the pieces of my top prompt, was include steps such as buying a domain. So it's still stuck on that. This is actually something that just came up in an interview I did for the podcast with Quest GPT, and they ran into the same issue. Sometimes it's very easy for GPT to get very stuck on something it had discussed before. Okay, we're going to run this one more time as a new chat, if my browser will let me.
Is there like
And
something you
then-
can say to it, like forget everything I just said? And
So yes, in practice, I tend to just make a new chat. And to be clear, acting as a developer, you are essentially, you have a new chat every time unless you include the previous messages. But okay, tell me in short and complete steps, the steps of setting up WordPress. So this is also on 3.5, but yeah, see, on a completely new one, domain name stuff is option number is step. So Sean, you can see there's some nuances here that you would need to play with, but that is our 5 minutes. So Ron, are you ready?
Thank you.
To find you. You're welcome. Ron, where did you go? There you are. All right, Ron, go ahead. I think you're unmuted, Ron.
I shouldn't be.
Yeah, I can hear you. Awesome.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Cool. I just had a general question. So what I want to achieve is to create personas. I'm working on a GPT app that has different personas. Some of the personas will give you right answers to the questions that you have. And some of personas should ask or should engage in a conversation or lead a conversation, meaning that the persona will ask you, I don't know, how do you feel today, for example? And you respond with that. And then the AI should respond, that's awesome. Now talk about X or Y or something like that. How would you go about doing that so that response of GPT will include the next question as well? Does that make sense?
Not quite, but okay, let me take a step back here.
Yeah.
Do you have a prompt in mind in terms of written out or just the concept?
Just a concept, just a concept.
Okay, so let me make a new chat and I'm going to keep this in 3.5 because I realized if I use 4, we're going to run out of prompts very quickly because they're still limited. So tell it to me again. You're trying to create personas, and sorry, I'll start the 5-minute timer.
Should we have a persona that is like a therapist, for example? Not a real therapist, but somebody who has a best friend to talk to. The therapist will ask you how your day went, and it will follow up with questions after you answer how your day went, depending on the answer. So it's context sensitive, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But yeah, it should kind of lead the conversation, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so that was going to be my question is, where do you want the AI to lead the person to? Because just ask me about your day is probably going to go in a little bit of a circle.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter in that sense, I think. I think it's more, so this would be an example for somebody who wants to just talk to someone, just talk to like a regular phone conversation. Doesn't really matter like who they're talking to. Exactly. Yeah, that will be it. That will be it.
Okay, how my day is going, and feel free. What do you think, Ravi? Free to move on to...
I think we need to set it up. We need to prime it to say it's a conversation between you and me. I'm going to ask a question, and based on that, we're going to have a conversations, something on those lines.
It's going. Feel free to take, what's the word I'm looking for? Take subjects from what I mentioned and turn it into a point to help me feel better.
Yep.
Not the best grammar, but at least something like that. Hang on, let me just scroll in the chat for a second.
Actually, one thing I learned is I can add in the beginning, can you rewrite this prompt in the best way possible? And then take that and give it. That way you get really, it's like creating a prompt, asking you to create a prompt for you.
Yes,
Does
so
it
the
make sense?
prompt generation ones are amazing. Let me run this and then I want to run that because I completely agree.
Yep.
So what do you mean by
I'll...
prompt? So that's interesting. So I hadn't had that word, I haven't heard that word before.
Brian Otto looks like, yeah, just pasted a prompt creator in. All right. First, Ron, what do you want to say? How's your day been so far?
Is it going amazing?
It's going amazing. I am currently sharing you with a community of, what are we up to? 49 people excited to learn about ChatGPT. And it says, that's great to hear. It sounds like you're doing something productive and engaging with others. How does it feel to be sharing your knowledge with others and being a part of this community? Okay, so
there you go.
Kind of nudging you in a positive direction. That's awesome.
Take a screenshot of this. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry, Ron. Go ahead and take a screenshot.
I got it. Just in time.
All right. Is there anything I need to change? We're going to try out the prompt creation. And no, we're good. Okay. So we're running the prompt creation prompt. This is very meta, but I've used them too. It can be very powerful. Okay. So it responded, I'd be happy to assist creating the best possible prompt. So now I will paste in our original prompt. And it says, here is a revised prompt. You're feeling lonely and would like to have a conversation with a therapist. As your therapist, I'll ask you questions about your day and help you find positive points to improve your mood. And then it asks some questions. I thought this prompt builder had two sections. Oh, these are, I don't think it quite did what we had in mind. As part of the prompt builder, it says, ask me questions to make the prompt better. However,
that's where you got.
Yeah, the questions that it's asking are not making the prompt better. They simply are part of this conversation. Interesting. Okay. Hang on. That's the 5-minute timer. Quick poll in the chat. I kind of want to run a little bit longer on this, and 5 minutes is feeling a little short. Can I get just a thumbs up, thumbs down emoji or a reaction? You can do any of those if your video's on. Thumbs up if you'd rather take another 5 minutes. Thumbs down if you would like to move on to the next person. All right, I'm only seeing thumbs up, so I'm inclined to, yeah, all right, I only see thumbs up. So we're going to go for, I think another 5 minutes. What do you think, Ravi?
Sure, let's do this. Cut and paste that prompt in there.
Yep.
And then at the beginning, say, help me rewrite this prompt so that it's clear and concise.
Help me
rewrite this prompt.
Yeah. And then that was the one.
See what
somebody in chat just said something. Oh, Robert, the reason I'm working in 3.5 instead of 4 is if I use 4, we're going to run out of queries in probably about 10 minutes because there's a limit of 25 every 3 hours. Okay. Looks like Jack says they have a prompt for improving. So Jack, if you want to paste that in, we can definitely give that a shot. But for now, I will run this. Okay. That did not help. The only thing that it added is tell me about positive experiences or hobbies. I am curious though. So I'm going to open another and run this in 4. I won't keep running it in 4 because like I said, we're going to end up running out of queries, but I'm pretty sure 4 is going to give a much better response than this because 4 usually does a whole lot better. And Ron, I got to say, it's such a vague prompt that it's having a hard time really coming up with something useful. Yeah. Okay. This is a little bit better, but not a whole lot better.
And it's solving the objective though, right? So
it definitely is. And it's definitely trying to actually get you to the point of make me feel better. What if you added a persona to the question using persona of someone that is well known in the field? That is a good idea. Although
who would that be?
Can't actually think of a person. Yeah. Suggestions?
Dr. Oz or somebody.
Oh, Esther
Like,
Perel. Yes, Esther
yeah,
Perel is a
yeah,
phenomenal example. So
yeah.
please act as Esther. I think, is it 2 R's or 1 R? Whatever. A therapist. Let's even give it a little bit of a cue, famous therapist. And I'm gonna once again make a new chat for this. Nice. So that's working a whole lot better. Ron, you notice not only is it giving you a little bit more suggestions of directions to go, like what's weighing on your mind? Why are you feeling lonely? It also then adds a little bit of emotional support of sometimes just talking about these things can help to ease some of the pressure that we feel. Sorry, I also do voice stuff. So occasionally I'll start acting instead of just reading. All right.
That's good.
I think we've got time for one more tweak, and then I want to move on to, gonna mess up your name, Arsam, don't know, but yeah, what's one more tweak? Okay, cool, Arsam. Go ahead and get your ChatGPT window ready with your prompt in it, and then we can all work together to improve this for you. One piece of feedback in the chat is when revising a prompt, you should describe as much as possible about your intentions, your objectives, how it should work, and then ask it to revise and improve your prompt. In other words, feed it with enough information. Okay, somebody just suggested that we should have had Freud be our therapist, and I am definitely not going to be doing that because that is going to get interesting way too quick, but I like the idea. Yeah, that was a good suggestion. All right, so that's our time. So Arsam, you should be unmuted. Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello. We can hear you.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey.
everyone.
So let me
Hope everybody's
stop
good.
sharing. Oh, sorry. Wait. Do you have it set up? Do you have a screen to
I
share?
do have it set up. I think I need to share my screen.
Yes. Okay. You should be able
Uh,
to share it. Let me know if you can.
I do need some guidance.
So down at the
Mm.
bottom, there's a green share screen button. If you click
Oh,
that,
saw it?
then
Yep.
you can click on window.
All right, got it.
There we go.
Okay,
All right.
before I start, Greg, I want to thank you for hosting this event. It's super cool and I'm learning so much. I want to share something pretty cool and I also want to ask a question. Let's get into it. I'm a social media content specialist and I write a lot of content, carousel content. So naturally, I want to use ChatGPT to explore carousel content and see if I could prompt it in a way that could write me carousel content. Now, to do that, I've engineered, I guess you could say, a prompt in 3 sections. At the start, I'm going to tell it to analyze the carousel that I'm going to send you. Then I'm going to send it the carousel. That's number 2. And after that, I'm going to tell it, based on your analyzation of my content, I want you to write me a carousel content with this topic and this main point. So that's basically a walkthrough of the prompt. Now, basically, this is what happened. I went through the first step.
Oh, interesting.
Then I sent him the carousel. Yeah, and after I sent him the carousel, and this is something I wrote, and this is something that really resonated with me. I really enjoyed it myself. And it went on and it broke it all down and it told me to, okay, this is your writing, this is your format, this is your voice of tone, and did a pretty decent job, I would say. After that, I told it to, okay, write me a carousel post on the topic of education matters, as an example. And with the main point being, humans have a need for exploring and education helps fulfill that need. So this was the basic idea. It did give me an answer, but it wasn't flowing that well. And so I went on and I said, okay, I want you to make it flow better using things like because, and, so, furthermore, stuff like that. And it did give me a decent answer, but I guess my main problem and my question here is, how can we make this feel more genuine and more humane and something that when you read, you're actually feeling that connection, if you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do want to pause for 1 second. I saw a question in the chat of what is carousel content. I have an answer for that, but I would actually rather let the expert who is asking us about it. Could you just give like a 2-sentence, what is carousel content?
Okay, so if you've been on Instagram, you've probably seen those posts where you could swipe to a maximum of 10 slides. Basically, in a nutshell, carousel content is slide content that you could swipe and see the next slide. You have it on Instagram, you have it on LinkedIn. It's something that a lot of educators use to express their ideas, thoughts, and knowledge. and connect with their audience, basically.
Yeah, so Jack actually has the exact thing that I was going to say, which is, have you thought about first developing the content as a story and then breaking it down as a slide? However, what I would suggest is we could start with that, and I think we probably should, but I'm going to do something a little crazier anyway, which is, I think what we should do is ask it to step by step, which is, again, this is a specific phrase, step-by-step logic and step-by-step thinking forces it to do meta thinking, meta-cognition. So develop the content and then step by step split that content into, I don't remember how many slides you said, but 10 slides or 20 slides, whatever the number was. So go ahead, and I would say,
do you want me to write something here?
Yeah, down at the bottom. Yeah, go ahead and there you go. Oh, sorry, someone else is coming in. Yes, I'll let you in.
I got it.
Thanks. Cool. Okay. The topic that you wanted to do was, what was it? Education, I think?
Education matters, I guess you could say.
Okay. So take the original prompt that you had and paste that in just so we can work on that.
Should I go through the 3 steps again?
Yep.
Okay, number 1.
Okay, so it's analyzing the carousel post. Great. It is totally missing. Oh, no, okay, got it a little bit. So the flow, number 5, where each slide builds upon the previous one, creating a cohesive narrative that supports your main message about the importance of using fewer words for greater impact. I'm not sure where it got that as the main message, but that was the nuance that I was going to say we need to include. Okay, it got that. So in your next prompt where you say, give me carousel material about whatever it was.
Okay.
Yeah. So paste that and don't hit submit yet. Yeah. Change the topic.
Do you have any suggestions for the topic?
I'm tempted to
ChatGPT matters.
That's what I was going to say. So yeah,
okay. That's fun. That's it.
2 T's.
All right.
There you go.
Okay.
And so what's our main point going to be, everybody? How about for a main point? Oh, that's even better than I was about to say. Why it will not take our jobs.
Okay, that's
nice
cool.
one, Zashawn. I was going to go a different direction.
Will not take our jobs.
Cool. Okay. So then in front of use words, say follow number 5, flow from your analysis.
Should I delete this part?
No, go ahead and leave that. We're going to tweak that in a second. But in front of it, so right here.
Say follow.
Yep. Follow point number 5 from your analysis, that each slide builds upon the previous one, comma, creating a cohesive narrative.
Each slide. What happens for each slide? Could you go on again?
Oh yeah, I was just basically saying what it already said. Each slide builds upon the previous one, creating a cohesive narrative.
Just cut and paste that.
Yeah, you can just copy and paste that.
Okay, should I send?
Before you do that, move this text afterwards.
Okay.
And then put use words like, okay, so right here, put a colon. So use words like colon, because you want to tell it this is a list of words. So that's at least tentatively worth trying. I'm going to go a minute over the 10 minutes, but let's see what it does.
All right.
All right. And while it is generating, who is next? That might have actually been the last person who had a prompt. Oh, no, we got one more.
I think we're seeing a lot of improvement, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now it's starting to do the like sentences, phrases, connect between slides.
Yeah.
Could you scroll up? What was the first bit? AI matters, ChatGPT.
Really good.
Many fear ChatGPT will take jobs, but it's designed to assist, not replace, because ChatGPT needs human input and our creativity makes it thrive. Yeah, this is a lot better. What's the end? Yeah. Embrace AI like ChatGPT to grow together. That's awesome. Okay.
That's the action. Yeah.
Very appropriate. Got a request in the chat. from Stephanie, if you could copy and paste that prompt in, just the last one, into the Zoom chat.
100%.
Can we do a question and answer maybe at the last 15 minutes?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that way we can also answer some of them who doesn't have prompt, but may have questions.
Yeah, totally good with that. Good call. Okay, so who was it before? I think it was Robert. Yeah, Robert that I had called on before. Do you have a prompt that you wanted to? Do you want to try and unmute? Okay, you do have a prompt. Are you able to unmute? Sorry, I know he has a prompt because he just posted it in the chat. Oh, you don't have a microphone. That would make unmuting a little bit of a problem. Okay, never mind that idea. Let's do a Q&A. So I might as well use Zoom as intended. If you have a question you'd like feedback on, does not mean you need to have a prompt. Raise your hand, which is the raise hand button, and I can unmute people who have questions.
I'll break the ice. How about that?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So I don't know how many of you feel that the history bars that keep on going forever, right? If you're working on certain thing, I want to go back to that, but I can't, it's really hard to scroll through everything. Is there an easier way? I'm not seeing any search button there, but have you guys figured out anything easier way to do?
Sorry, let me make sure I'm understanding. You're talking about the
New chat
bar on the left.
Correct.
Where it shows your previous conversations. Is that
Correct.
right? Okay,
yeah,
cool. No, there is no way. There are a couple of extensions that will let you do that. I honestly would have to look them up because I don't remember, but they're like Better ChatGPT or something like that. And they do allow searching and even organizing the prompt conversations into folders, which is pretty cool.
Okay. Okay. Anything specific that you liked, the extensions that worked?
Honestly, I don't use them.
Yeah, me neither.
It's not what I've needed.
Yeah. Okay.
I swear I just saw somebody in the chat who said something. They were a fan of one of them.
Yeah, AI PRM. I'm aware of that.
Super Power ChatGPT, Mo says, and AI PRM. If you could put links into those, that would be helpful. Also, for everyone, I have just put a link into the chat. This is indeed the launch of my podcast today. That happened about 3 hours ago. So if you could take a minute and subscribe to it on Apple Podcasts and YouTube and Spotify and rate it 5 stars and like the first video, because so far that's all I have up because I'm doing this instead of finishing editing the first 2 episodes. That would be awesome and very appreciated. And then a feedback form for today's mastermind. So again, if you're getting something out of today, do me a really big favor and subscribe to the podcast, and this will be published there as well eventually. Somebody's got a hand up. Oh, Zashawn, you've got a hand up. Great. I think you can still unmute. If not, let me know.
Yeah, I can. Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah, so actually, I guess we just started talking about it naturally, but I was wondering what you, and maybe even just, I guess everyone in the chat can throw it out there as well, but what extensions you found to be really valuable and helpful for ChatGPT?
I have not found any personally. Does not mean that there aren't a bunch of helpful ones. Not going to say that at all. Just hasn't been helpful for me. Also, I'm building a tool because there's some very specific kind of testing that I've been doing that nothing really works for. I can share about that if people want, but is anybody else seeing things in? Okay, Jack says he's looking for one that can export text. Jack, actually look at I think it was the AI PRM one, because I thought that one could do it. I know one of them can do that because I've seen a specific listing about export your ChatGPT output as text or PDF or image. And I know that exists. Let's see. Art. Thank you. Who else is in here? Oh, that was actually a good point. Yeah, Jack just said searching through the old conversations, at least searching through the titles, you can just use the normal Command or Control F to just search the text. That does actually work for the titles, obviously not for the content. I thought I saw another hand go up. Stephanie, let me unmute you.
Hello, I'm speaking.
Yeah.
There we go. Now we can hear you. Yes.
Okay, great. So I've been experimenting a lot with prompts to get ChatGPT to generate the perfect prompt. I was just curious to see if you've done any of those, how you feel about it. I've gotten mixed response with that. Like sometimes it does generate the perfect prompt. Sometimes it just gets a little too confused. So yeah, just curious if you could talk about that.
Ravi, it sounded like you had something you were about to say on that one. So go ahead. If not, I can respond.
Sure. What I realized is it's like a trial and error method. Nothing every single time you're going to get a sure shot at it. That's what is my experience so far. So you keep trying it until you get what you're looking for, kind of a thing, I think. I wish I can give you a better answer, but that's my experience.
Yeah, the one nuance I would add to that, because that's a pretty good summary to answer the original question. Yes, there are ways. No, they're not reliable. There are, I'd have to look it up, but there are a couple of prompt building prompts and a couple of prompt analysis prompts. I've heard from someone that they actually tag team between the two of them, where they'll do build me a prompt, put it in, get the prompt, analyze the prompt, do that, and then use that again to build it again. I have not actually had any luck with that. So I'm planning on trying it myself because I'm curious. The other thing though that I would say is, how do I say this? Doing it iteratively is what usually works the best for me, with very careful consideration of, now I'm going to create a new conversation. So like thinking about, okay, I've got like a version 2 prompt, still not amazing. Okay, let's completely start a new conversation and go from there. Regarding the prompt building prompts, I can throw a couple of them into the LinkedIn. Let me just make a note of that, which I guess I should clarify. The LinkedIn group is in the document that I pasted. I'll paste it again just so that people have it. Trying some different ones is actually what I've seen works the best. I haven't like, this one always works.
Yeah.
Looks like just pasted a prompt builder. So Stephanie, you can check that out in the chat. And Tomer would like to ask a question. Tomer, you should be unmuted. Yes?
Yeah. Hi, everyone.
Sweet.
Hey.
So on my side, since Stephanie brought up the discussion on the prompt creator, I just wanted to ask, because I'm like in this cycle where it's asking the questions and I'm trying to respond. I'm just wondering, does that end, or is it we've gotten off to the wrong foot and I should start a new chat? What's your opinion on this?
Sorry, making sure I'm understanding the question. You asked, does it end? It's only going to keep going as many times as you say, give me another round, make it better. It's not like it will take over and start just messaging you. Like ChatGPT doesn't really do that.
It's keep going on. You keep asking it, right? So obviously you need to refine your question and start asking it. It's just a trial and error. I was just mentioning it to Stephanie the other time till you get it. And then once you start and you will get a hang of it, and then you know what to ask next time.
I see.
I can give you an example. I'm a blog writer. I write blogs, right? So when I write the blog, I created a prompt for myself saying, okay, I want to rate, can you rate my prompt, my blog, based upon the readability, the timing, search keywords, value, like 7 parameters I decided, right? It gives me a value for on a scale of 1 to 10, every single time different number, but the same blog. So
not surprised to hear that.
Yeah.
I think I'm covered. I think I understood.
Excellent. Okay, cool. Tomer, just the
you.
last thing to make sure of is you want to run one conversation prompt upgrading and the other conversation testing the prompt. You don't want to do it in the same conversation because then it will get very confused.
I think that's what I've been doing wrong. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. If you're doing it in one conversation, the prompt optimizer will just fail after like one round.
That's a good tip. Yeah, that's a good tip, Greg. I like that. Actually, I didn't realize that one too.
Cool. All right. Let's see. We've got 5 minutes left. You're welcome.
So there was somebody talking about meta prompt.
Yes. Who was that?
Would you mind, whoever that was?
I see the message. Let me see if I can unmute you.
I exist.
Hey, all right. Awesome. Please share about meta prompting. I have a definition, but I would like to hear yours and what you found useful for it.
So many things. Meta prompting is anything where you use chain of thought, but you adapt it out to higher level things. So first, before I do anything, go subscribe to this man. This dude is awesome for being able to host this kind of thing and getting us together on LinkedIn. So please, anybody, because I can see how many subs are over there and I can see how many people are in this thing. So y'all not doing your job. Go over there, sub to his channel. Outside of that, let's go ahead and get started on this stuff. Meta prompting is going to be anything where you take a higher level overview at the approach. So instead of approaching ChatGPT at a single point where you're going to go, hey, I want you to build out this carousel thing. I want you to do a SEO blog post. It's okay to do that. Then you have one higher level where you can syntax it, right? Now you're going to go, I want the blog post to look like this. Or maybe you want to do like a level 1 role play. These are all beautiful things because they're really attributes and characteristics of how ChatGPT will relate with you and syntactically respond. That's great. But what if we take all of these traits, put it into one persona model, shove it at the top, make that a master model, and then once we have this level of master model, what we're going to end up doing is that once we've generated that, we're going to load it with a persona profile. So for example, when you were talking about the carousel content, right? The Instagram styled carousel post, this is what I built out for that. Exactly. So I loaded it with a simple master model. This is a very simple one, mind you. Eva and I have other things that are like 6 post deep. Now that we have the best educator in the world that we're interacting with, ChatGPT has this construct of who it should be, how it should talk. So why does this matter? Your time is the most valuable thing in the world, right? So what if I told you could spend less time on ChatGPT getting more out of it? That's what this is. If you take the time to build a master model with your specialty and experiences, because I'm not you, you know what your special things is. Maybe you're a coder, maybe you're a marketer. You know how you want to define the model to respond to you or to do things, but you don't have to think about it from such a, how do I want the carousel post? No, ignore that. You're defining a person. If you were to hire a person to do that job for you, how do you want that person to be? That's what you build first. That's your persona model. Then you secondarily move into what you want it to be. So you give it a job. You are named builder. You're going to create a project. This project's going to be this thing. So now you have all of these aliases or variables, you could say, to reference back to the things you want. If you want to call back the project, you just say, I'm doing this project. And ChatGPT will know exactly what you're talking about. So now instead of having to redefine the whole damn thing every post or do this huge syntactical programmatic language, you can get lazier and lazier while ChatGPT reinforces itself and gets smarter and smarter because you preemptively told it that's what it should do. In fact, there was a research paper that was released on this called ChatGPT Plus Reflection, which shows the accuracy of GPT-4 goes from something like, what is it, 77 to, I don't want to misquote it, but it's something like 10 to 20% increase in accuracy. It's insane levels. And if that's what's happening,
is amazing.
Yeah.
And just realized we just hit the hour. Real quick before everybody hops off, I'm going to share a quick poll. How often do you want to do these? You want to do them every week? Do you want to do them every other week? So if you could answer that really quick. And wow, very strong reaction for weekly. Awesome. Okay. Thank you all so much for attending. This was a ton of fun for me. I hope it was a lot of fun for you. This recording will be shared on the YouTube channel, aside from me wanting you to support the podcast. Also, if you want the recording and you don't want to subscribe, the link is in that document that I put, which sure, I can put that again, this one. And if this has been helpful for you, please do me a solid and go subscribe to the podcast in wherever you do it. Rate it 5 stars. I'm going to be posting a whole bunch more episodes of people coming in and having conversations with them about like, how do you do prompt engineering? What have you learned? All that kind of stuff. 2 other things. If you are a person who writes prompts and would like to be on the podcast, please just send me an email, greg@gregschwartz.net, but also you can comment in the LinkedIn or reply to any of the dozen places that I think I posted this. Oh, one last thing. The paper about reflection just got posted in the comments. So make sure that you grab that. It is a very cool technique. And I'm hopefully going to be talking about that on an upcoming episode. And if not, I might just do an episode myself on it because it's pretty cool. Awesome. Thank you all so much and talk to you soon. Hope you enjoyed the mastermind. I'll be continuing to host these each week. Find the date for the next one and sign up at promptengineeringpodcast.com. Thanks for coming to the Prompt Engineering Podcast, the podcast dedicated to helping you learn how to be a better prompt engineer, how to sell your prompts if that's something you're into, or just use them in your day job. See you soon.